Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Mr. Gill Talks About Beer. Ladies and gentlemen, last week we had a quick chat about some lagers. This week we're going to have a quick chat about some goses. It's a kind of hard word to pronounce. Basically, we're talking about kind of sour beers, or warm fermented sour beers. We've got two here. Now, the Gose style kind of originated down in Germany. I don't mean down, somewhere over in Germany, near kind of Leipzig. And I think that's where it became really popular. But it originated in a place that had quite a mineral-rich river, running through the place. So it was quite salty already when the brewers started to make the beer. So this particular style kind of came from there, and then I think in kind of Leipzig it was kind of popularized quite a lot. Now you can find it all over the place. We are going to look at two. I think they're both kettle soured beers. This means they're kind of done very quickly with the addition of lacto to make it run faster, to sour quicker. This is opposed to, say, leaving something to naturally ferment and sour with fruit in it or wild yeast over time. They often also have the addition of salt and the addition of coriander. But these two, I don't know if they do. I don't think they do. I know one of them has seaweed. But anyway, we are looking at two. We're looking at BeerFarm's Asam Boi Gose, and we're looking at Sailor's Grave's Downshire Gose. Both Australian again. BeerFarm is WA in Metric Cup. I don't really know where that is. There's a Google map. There. And the Sailor's Grave is in August in Victoria, which is up towards on the coast a little bit. Sailor's Grave have been around about since 2016. Kind of farmhouse brewery, so they grow a lot of their own stuff. They do a lot of the stuff in-house. They forage a lot. They work very closely with some of the original owners of the land and stuff like that, and they kind of put in natural things. So let's start with that one. This is a 4.5% alcohol, not too strong. We sell this one quite often. It should be all good. It's pretty cold now. I've kept these in the fridge a little bit longer than I did last time. Let's give it a crack. And it's very fizzy. Okay, that's kind of annoying, probably because I've just shaken it around a bit while I've moved it. That's all over me. Fantastic. And maybe on the camera. Let's give it a sip. Ooh. Okay, interesting. First impressions is there's definitely a lot of kind of, there's almost herbaceousness coming from right at the start. Almost a little bit like parsley stalks. And definitely, this one, as far as I know, has local seaweed that they foraged from the coast. There's definitely a kind of seaweediness, almost like nori sheet, coming through at the end, which gives it not a fishy taste, but there is that kind of, seaweed, fish, ocean kind of taste. Have a look at it. There's hair in my glass, which is fantastic. I only have one glass. One glass, one cup. One spoon, one fork. I don't like things. All right, have a look at that. Lovely pale, golden color. Really nice foamy head on that. Great fizz. Not cloudy at all. Really clear, clean. Definitely. Definitely a refreshing beer. Saltiness is not coming through massively. There's a little bit like, I guess, kind of like if you'd been swimming and, maybe an hour later you can still feel a little bit of salt, kind of water in your mouth or something like that. Not that you should be drinking the ocean, but yeah, there's a kind of a little bit like that, and the kind of aroma of, damp beach towel. Which doesn't sound good, but it is actually kind of nice. This one doesn't have any fruit kind of additions or anything like that, so it is just a classic Gose of a wheat beer, plus the seaweed, plus some salt. And then, as I said, I'm pretty sure this is kettle soured. I've not seen anything to say otherwise. Uh, Great fizz, really crisp on the first taste. Not a long finish. The wheat kind of the wheat base is coming through. I guess the more I drink, there's more of that kind of wheatiness, which does remind me very much of kind of German beers, German styles. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. We said we were going to score things out of 10. I could easily see myself drinking one or two of these. Definitely something I would match with food. Burping again. Something I could have at the start of a meal. I don't know if I'd want to have it at the end. The wheat maybe makes it a touch heavy. The seaweed is less now, a lot less. So it comes in that kind of aroma, and that kind of seems to have like dissipated quite a lot. I can't really identify that kind of oceany, seaweedy smell that I got right at the start. No, it's definitely nowhere near as strong, which is a shame because I think that was one of the most interesting things about the beer is that kind of local forage seaweed that was in there. All in all, I'd give that a solid 6 or 7 out of 10. Definitely redrinkable, definitely worth a shot. These guys, we're going to be tasting a lot of Sailor's Graves stuff. They bring out a lot of very interesting things using local ingredients and farmed ingredients. As I said, it's a farmhouse brewery, so that's going to be interesting. And this is one of their kind of standards, that's always around. All right, so let's give the BeerFarm guys a go. These guys, as I said, based in over in Metrocup. Again, we're looking at what's called like a sustainable kind of farmhouse brewery, BeerFarm. They have a farm out there. They grow a lot of the stuff they use. I couldn't find when they were founded, but I think they've been around a while for sure. You will notice as we go through this, a lot of these Australian breweries, small breweries, craft breweries, were founded around similar times. I do believe that's because of changes to legislation. There was something about duty that made it easier for them to start brewing on a larger scale. So this is a kettle soured Berliner Weiss with the addition of salted plums, which is a kind of Japanese thing. This is also technically a collab with Smith Street Taps in Singapore. They kind of talked about it and they did it. I don't know how much of a full-on collab it is, whether somebody sent over the plums or not. Loads of hops in this. Carapil, wheat malt, some pale malt. So that's not the hops. US Eldorado, US Mosaic, Aussie Summer. So the Mosaic is going to give it that kind of, I think, most of that body. All right, instantly quite there's a little bit of funk. Ooh. Ooh. All right. So there's a touch of kind of fruit funk on the nose for sure, and then definitely get a nice kind of refreshing beer. But there's a little bit of a kind of salty plum coming through, which is lovely. It's almost a touch cordial, cordial-ish, but it's not like sweet. There's definitely kind of sour and salty coming through. That is I like. Let's have a look at it. And instantly you can see we've got that kind of amber color, almost going into orangey color, a little bit more cloudy. I have to say that is fantastic. So it says a balanced sweet and sour beer. You do get a touch of sweetness. It's kind of like drinking really weak Ribena. You know when you make Ribena, and Ribena's like blackcurrant cordial, and you haven't put enough Ribena in, you go, what do I do? And you go back and you get the Ribena and you put more in the top. But that kind of weakness of that there's a little bit of that. Definitely plummy at the end, definitely salty. Can really get that kind of salt, and it's still in my mouth, that kind of saltiness, which I really like. Not much of a head on that. Oh, it's lovely, really lovely. I did not think I would like this one. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of plums. Salted plums sound like something I wouldn't like. That's really nice. And I'll be honest, I'm actually not a big fan of gozes or sour beers in general. I do like some of the old traditional lambics, Cantillon and stuff like that, but oh, that's really good. And unfortunately, we don't sell it anymore. We had a customer who absolutely loves this, and she was buying quite a lot of this every week, but we don't sell it anymore. And I sold the last of it to her a month or two back. I saved this one can. Definitely, I could drink that as a session. It is, how much percent is it? So this is coming in at 4.5%, which is kind of strong for a session beer, but you know, I guess it's me. I drink quite a lot, so I think I can handle it. But I could easily see myself killing a 4-pack of that, no problem at all. Definitely see that as a kind of start of the day beer, day drinking beer for sure. Sitting in somewhere in the sun, or sitting even somewhere just a bit warm, perfect. I could definitely see that going with food. I'm interested to see how that goes with cheese. I like to match beer and cheese quite religiously. Well, it's not religious. It's not religious. I really like to match beer and cheese. I think that's a good matching, and it's fun to do. Because it's kind of tricky. You know, obviously both beer and cheese have quite a lot of different things going on in them, so trying to match them is hard. Yeah, I like that a lot. So this is a solid 10 from me. And it's definitely, look, you know, there's not about criticism, you know, this is about what I like and, you know, tasting stuff. Definitely the Down She Goes seem to become a little bit more flat very quickly. And I mean, obviously this one's a little bit got less head on it, but I'd say that the aromas and some of the flavor disappeared from the Down She Goes very, very quick. Whereas Down She Goes, I never say Gozer right, but I'll see if I can find that clip from Ghostbusters. Isn't that Gozer? Gozer. Or was that Zool? Zool. I'll find a clip. This one seems to, you can still get that nice kind of salted plum aroma coming off it. Oh, that's good. It's good. It's refreshing. It might be, as I said, because I really like Ribena. Really like Ribena. I should get some Ribena. So it could be that's why I like this. But yeah, that's a definite 10 for me. If not, we're going to 11, you know. I am very tempted now to literally order some from online, because I want some of this in my life. I drink a lot of kind of cider as general, as my kind of go-to. Finish work, have a can of cider drink, and there'll be people. Well, I'll tell you the story why I started drinking cider, and this was almost, what was it, 2006 maybe, when I'd quit or lost another job in London, and I decided to become a chef. And I walked into a cafe and I said, I'd like to be a chef. Do you need a chef? And it was with this Michelin star guy, Thierry. He'd just started a little cooking school for rich housewives in Parsons Green. And he said, yes, you can be my sous chef, because the other guy was leaving. And I said, okay. So then I started working there and learning how to be a chef. And it was working like 12 plus, maybe 15 hours a day. It was a lot of work. And I couldn't afford my apartment. I was sharing with sharing an apartment with another couple and my girlfriend, and I couldn't afford that, and I was getting paid nothing, and I had like £1 every night. And so I walked home, you know, I don't know what time it would have been, like 10 p.m. or something like that, 11 p.m. I had £1, so I would go to the shop next door and I would buy a can of cider, Strongbow. You know, it was a tall can. I think it was actually only 90p or something. And I would drink that when I got home. And that was why I started drinking cider, because I think it was the cheapest thing. And I didn't like the other cheap things like Carlsberg or, you know, some crap, you know, shitty beers. So that's why I started drinking cider, and then I kind of drank a lot of cider, a lot for a long time, and I still drink a lot of cider. But sorry, going back to the start, the reason I drink cider at the end of every night is because of that. I find it refreshing. This could easily replace cider for me because I find this very similarly refreshing in the same style. So I don't mean the same style because it's not a cider, but in the same kind of. Oh, god damn. I really like this. Oh, this is fantastic. This is fantastic because I've been putting off making this video because of the trepidation. I'm like, I'm not going to like these Goses. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to drink them. But now I'm like, I love these Goses. I want to taste all of them. Because maybe we could find something that's as cool. These could be my new thing. Oh, interesting. Right. So. Sailor's Grave, Down She Goes, a solid 6 or 7, I think I said. Great beer. Nice, really nice start to that beer. You know, that kind of salty seaweed. It made me think of the beach immediately. It made me think of summer. I really liked it. I just don't think it finished as kind of fresh tasting as it started. But obviously a well-made beer, and I would strongly suggest giving it a shot. The BeerFarm Asam Boi Gose, I think is absolutely fantastic. It's definitely up my street. Really nice salty plum aroma at the start. What's also interesting is that I guess it's through the use of the malts. There's a bit of barley in there as well. It doesn't feel as wheaty, as heavy as the Down She Goes felt, which is interesting. So I don't feel as kind of full. That said, I've just downed 2 beers in 9 minutes. So this is a huge, a definite 10, if not 11. We kind of, this is setting the standard for as we go forward and taste beers where we're going to get to. Awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This is Mr. Gill reviewing beers. We will be back. I'm looking at the beer pile over there, and I think we're going to go for some red ales. Maybe some double reds if I can find enough in the beer pile. One day I'll show you the beer pile. It is a big pile of beer. Or we're going to go for some sours. I guess it depends. When are we going to do the next one? Maybe in about an hour. So it depends how I feel. Thank you so much for watching. Click the like button if you can. Subscribe if you want to. Share as you see fit. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.